Hello folks, it's Arch here with a new Let's Play series, and this one is going to be focused around the game of Sim Airport. When you start with this basic setup. You've got a runway in place, you have a taxiway, one gate and a small terminal building. This is your all new games start off with this unless you opt to start from scratch. To do that, in case you don't know, if you just go to start new game and just click that over to yes, you'll start with just an empty plot of land and nothing else. We also start with a couple of staff members. These will just pool out to their various assigned jobs once we unpause. But before we do that, before I go ahead and unpause the game, I want to get a few things in place. First of all, I want to upgrade my runway. I want to put a instrument landing system in place. And what that does, it increases, as you can see there, the maximum crosswind tolerance from 12 to 20 knots. That means we have fewer delays due to weather, so that's always handy. Another upgrade I want to make is to add runway lights to the runway, obviously, and this will allow us to run flights outside of daylight hours. So rather than our airport sat idle when darkness falls, we can still bring planes in and out, so we can make more money, further around the clock. It won't be a full 24-hour operation at this early stage, but it will make a difference. I'll go ahead and start some research as well, and I'll go for finance first of all. That allows us to hire a chief financial officer, which unlocks further techs. We need to build an office for him and hire him when we're able to. And I also want to go ahead and hire 3 more security staff, a couple more, or at least one more staff member for our desks, and I want to double the amount of workmen we have. So that's now 6. We'll also add another janitor as well. Initially these will be almost dead money because they'll not be doing much aside from our workmen. So what they're going to do now is they're just hanging around our delivery area, unloading the supplies for these new construction projects I've already started, and they're now going up there to complete those tasks. What I also want to do is do a bit of interior remodeling. First of all, I want to clear away these bathrooms here and this bathroom here, and I'll rebuild this little section to make it a little bit more efficient. So if we just increase speed a little bit and let those guys go ahead and do that. Now I will need to extend my security zone because this area here will be non-secure, and anything airside needs to be classed as secure, and to do that you have to have it linked in with a security zone. I hope that makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a second. Like right now there's a warning on this landing on this gate that it's no longer secured. But if we go ahead and do that, it is secure. We'll get rid of the bathroom zoning, just like so, and then we can just slow it down again. And I want to adjust, I want to lay down some flooring on these areas as well, to get rid of that concrete which is currently down. So if we go to floors, now we have a wooden floor in place, so we'll continue with that theme. I believe it's that one. So we'll just fill those areas up just to tidy it up a little bit. And then I want to go ahead and lay down some foundation, what's going to extend my airport outwards as far as we can. That looks about it, just there. So we'll do that. And I also want to dismantle these 3 existing security items: the ID check-in stand, the baggage scanner, and the metal detector. So we'll get them dismantled. So these workmen will come along and tend to that shortly. Let's just increase the speed again while they work through all this, because we can't do much right now. Next we're going to relocate these three objects once everything is constructed. So here they go, they're just laying down the new wooden flooring, while the other three guys get the materials in place to construct this new foundation that I've marked out. There they go now, look, just thrown up the exterior wall first of all, and then they're going to lay the concrete foundation for the floor. So while that's going on, we'll slow it down once again, and I want to adjust this the size of this security zone. So we'll take it back to, say, there. There should be enough space. Again, just let the increase the speed while these guys finish off up here. So it's a bit expensive at the start, but it will become worth it later on. And you'll see what I plan to do here once these are all finished. The first thing we want to do is get that flooring back down. So there it is. There we go. So they'll go ahead and lay that flooring in. Once that's done, we're going to rebuild a few walls up here. And again, channel off this security zone so this stays a secure area by just building a wall in this area. So that's that done, so let's just pause it now so we don't waste too much time here. Let's get the wall tool down. So we want to build a wall like that and like that, so we have a little corridor up here. And these are going to be 2 bathrooms, and these are going to service the air side of the airport. And then we want another 2 bathrooms on the non-secure side of the airport, rather. And we'll build these down here. Finding what would be the best. I'll divide it like that. One's going to be slightly smaller than the other one, but I can live with that. Then we want to go ahead and zone these 2, so we need a female restroom. 2 of them, one for security, one for non-secure, and male. So they're going to go ahead and throw up those walls. While they're doing that, we'll get ready with our doors so they can actually access these new rooms. Like so. And then we want to put down the actual toilets themselves. This one's going to be a bit crowded, but that's fine. Put a couple of sinks down. Not the most spacious bathrooms you've ever seen, but they will work. And we can put the toilets down in the bathrooms that are for the secure side of our airport. That's all done. Then we want to reset up our security zone. So we'll put 1 passport check desk there and 1 just there. We want 2 baggage scanners. And then 2 metal detectors. We also want to set up a queuing system for our desks. So we'll just extend him out like so. And then do the same over here. And we actually want to assign these to these new queues that we've set up. And we'll set each desk to both of the queues. So passengers can queue up in either queue and use either desk. We want to put a queue in place for the security zone. Can't assign them yet because they're still not constructed. And we want another gate agent desk to service this gate here. And once again, We'll set up a queue system for these. Not like that. Whoops. There we go. And again, we'll assign him to both of the queues, and we'll do the same for the other desk once that's constructed. So we'll just increase the speed while they finish off these various construction tasks that have been assigned to them. In fact, while we're waiting for that, we'll I want to go ahead and build an air traffic control tower. And we can put him, we'll put him there. I want to put down some seating for our airport so the passengers have somewhere to sit just while they are waiting to board their aircraft. So we'll do back-to-back seating. Perhaps put some in here too, in case somebody arrives early at the airport for check-in. Would also help, of course, if we put it in the right chuffing place. There we go, that's better. We'll put some flight information screens down as well. Put some there, so as they exit the bathrooms they can check the status of their flight. And we want some garbage bins to try and reduce the amount of litter we get in the airport. Just a couple will do for now, just like that. We also want to have some plants, so we'll get some potted plants. We'll put these down in various locations. Can't fit one in the. I could put it in the middle of the floor, but that would just look weird. Now, what these plants do, they increase the environmental rating of your airport, and they increase your passenger satisfaction, which is monitored up here. It's currently at 50%. The higher your passenger satisfaction, then the greater the airline interest, and that unlocks larger carriers and bigger planes. So you need to be assigned to a gate, and you also need to be assigned to these queues. So that's all signed up. Yep. These ID checks need to also be assigned to the queues. Excellent. Oops, close that down. Okay, the last thing I want to put down is some retail areas. So our passengers have somewhere to spend their money while they're waiting to board their flight. So we'll go ahead and get a coffee kiosk and a pizza kiosk in those areas. Oops. So that's all ready, so let's just let the time accelerate while our workforce get to work on all of this. In fact, what I also want to do before we tick over into the next day is actually book some flights for the next day. So we're going to flight management just down here. Here's our flight management screen. On the bottom, just adjust the size here, yep. On the bottom you have the gates that are available, plus 1 hour interval time slots. At the top are the current airlines willing to give you a contract. So I want to go ahead and pick up some of these. So we'll get the Boeing 737 provided by Aerotime. And we'll check some of the others, so Pacific Airlines. We'll take the Airbus A320. A forward air. Again, we'll take the Boeing 737s. Another A320. And the other 737. Now, these are unassigned, so we need to assign them a landing slot. So we'll start at the first one available to us. And we can reduce the time that he's actually... we can reduce and extend the boarding time. We'll reduce them all for now to give us quicker turnaround. Whoops. In fact, we can just space these a little better. There we go. Now we could fit another morning flight in. So let's check our morning flights. So what our Aerostar offering. I don't want the E195 because they only carry 90 passengers max. So for now we'll just run with those 6 flights. More will become available as we progress, so that's fine. What I also want to do is check in our flight status for tomorrow. Our first flight arrives at 6. Our last flight departs at just before 7 o'clock in the evening. So with that in mind, if we go to our kiosk scheduling, we can change how many staff we want them to send us to man our kiosks. So we'll have one at 4 o'clock, one on each at 5, and our last flight departs at 7 o'clock, well just before 7, so there really isn't any need having staff around when there's going to be no passengers in the airport, so we'll just reduce that to 0. Obviously, as we get more flights at different times, we'll have to readjust them and make sure we do. Otherwise, we're going to have unstaffed kiosks. Go back into retail, and I think I'll go ahead and get a small new stand. Put him there. And that will do for the time being. So they're busy now putting everything else in place, all the plants and the kiosks. So if we go ahead and click this environment heat map, we can see what effect these plants are having. These green areas are areas where passengers are going to be increased in happiness because of those plants. Likewise, the information heat map. Again, if they're in these areas, they're going to have increased satisfaction. So spotted, we can put a couple extra plants down actually, just to maximise the coverage. Put a couple there. We'll put a couple down in this baggage claim area. So let's just check our... Okay, so 1, 2... Okay. So we're now into day 2, just ticked into the early hours. Our first flight is at 6 o'clock, so I imagine we'll start seeing passengers arriving in the airport anytime between 0300 and 0400. But we'll see that in the next episode, I think. So, thank you for watching this first episode. I hope you're interested in watching a Let's Play series covering this game. We'll see how far we can get, see how much money we can make, and start building a huge airport. Or at least that's the plan at the outset anyway. But we'll see how we get on with that. Hope you liked the video, guys. I shall see you in the next episode.